Oh yeah, you already know what time it is. Oh, nah, what's going on in Invincible? No intro, let's get into it. The scene cuts off and this man Conquest and Mark are already hidden. Punch was so hard it sent everybody in the city back flying. But that's good for him, cause who in their right mind would be out there while two superheroes are hidden? While they were sizing each other up, Conquest decided to headbutt this man Mark and slam him right to the ground. I didn't see Mark get slammed to the ground so much, I don't even think he cared anymore. Conquest tried to grab this man Mark to put him in another combo, but Mark turned around and punched that man. Then Mark wasted no time, slamming this man Conquest through two different buildings. And when the smoke cleared, all you can see is this man punching himself out the rubble. He wasn't even phased at all. And oh no, Conquest might actually be like that. After that, Conquest ended up finding this man Mark in the ground, and then he pulled him up by one arm. And I can't even lie, I don't understand this at all. Cause Mark, how do you body slam somebody and ended up hurt? So when Conquest had pulled up this man Mark, he immediately started choking him out. But Mark simply wasn't going. He had clapped that man's ears together and then kicked him away. And then he had immediately pulled up on him and punched that man Conquest right in the face. And finally, there you go. That's the Mark we've been waiting for. See, if I was out there, I would have got to work immediately. Whoa there, brother. I can admit when I'm wrong. And right now, I'm very wrong. I can't even fight two fifth graders, let alone even fight. Conquest would have for sure did it to me. After that one punch, Mark thought he was saying good eats, cause that man was absolutely going to work on this man Conquest. He even punched this man and sent him flying straight to the air, grab him by his foot and kneed him in the stomach. And this is what I like to see. If Mark keep this up, we can start calling him Demon Time Mark. Mark immediately had put up on Conquest, uppercut this man right into space. But once I had seen this man Conquest's face, I can tell that he wasn't even taking this fight seriously, cause he had put up on Mark, spearing this man right back to earth. And I should have known, cause Mark ain't never cook up that good before. And trust me, there's no hate on this man Mark name, but if you know Mark, you know Mark, and that nigga ain't nothing. While this man Conquest was trying to get the body slam of the century, Mark was hitting him with punches and elbows, because getting hit with a body slam from that distance, fall damage or not, you're not walking away from that. This man Conquest was trying to take down Mark. Mark had hit him with a nasty knee to the stomach, and he let that man go immediately. And I can already tell by the speed and power of that flying knee that Mark did, as soon as the cameras turned, that man Conquest immediately grabbed his stomach. So Conquest and Mark had a brief conversation, and then he immediately had pulled up on him and punched him in the face. Like I told y'all, it was a brief conversation. Enough was already said. After Mark had hit the ground, he turned around and seen Conquest coming at him at full speed. So he just stood there and took it. Mark, I'm sorry, but that's simply just not your body. And as you can see how the city was just crumbling after that body slam, Mark clearly took some damage from that. It looked like they having a whole earthquake. Oliver, what you doing here? So Oliver had pulled up to help out this man Mark. But as you can see, Conquest is just punching this man from map to map. So before Oliver can even help Mark jump Conquest, he gotta chase them down first. And the type person I am, I would've just spawned camp. I knew they was gonna spin back on the same location. But while that was happening, this man Mark was absolutely getting pieced up. You know it's bad when the cameraman following you too. Also, shout out to the cameraman. I see you out there risking your life. Keep it up. So Conquest pulled up on Mark and had punched that man. Punch was so hard it sent this man flying back into an 18-wheeler, which that exploded the area. And honestly, if the civilians outside ended up dying to some dumb stuff, that's completely on them. Why is they still outside? After Mark had hit the ground, you can tell that one really hurt it. That's how I knew that man Conquest was like that. As we all know, Mark take no type of fall damage. So for that hurt, I know he got slammed for real, for real. And low key, this is where change is supposed to be made. We do not call him Conquest no more. That man, a block runner. So the block runner had pulled up on Mark and he put his hand up for him despair. And at first, I was honestly thinking, Mark, what are you thinking? Get up out of there. He don't even care about his hair. And you know what they say, if they don't care about their hair, why would they care about you? Whoa there, brother. Put the keyboard up. I know they don't really say that. I was lying for the video, but you ain't gotta expose me in the comments. Come on. So the block runner had went in for the kill, but surprisingly, he ended up stopping for Mark. But it was just so he can grab him right by his face and pick him up. What was Mark thinking? That the block runner was gonna stop to his request? So he had hit Mark with that nastiest choke slam to the ground. And as soon as the smoke cleared, wasn't nothing nice to see. He had his hand right on that man's throat. And right now, I want you to imagine if you was Mark right now. Imagine somebody grab you by your face, slam you to the ground hard as shit, and then he started talking about nonsense that you don't even understand. While the block runner was talking about his nonsense, Oliver had pulled up and smacked him right in the face, sending him flying. And I already know the streets be talking where the vulture might be at. They didn't tell Conquest that Lil O was up 3 bodies. You ain't hear it from me. Speak nothing of this moment. It was already too late. Lil O was in his bag. He pulled back up on the block runner, but the block runner simply wasn't going. Hit that man right in the back of his back, dribbling off the ground. And don't even get me wrong, I hate to see Lil O go out crazy like that. That's my main block runner. He got 3 bodies underneath his belt. But that man right there is simply just up more. So after that, he caught him mid-air by his leg and just started dangling him around. But Big Bro wasn't going for it. He had punched him out the way. He really thought he was gonna bully Lil Bro with Big Bro standing right there. Less than a second later, Mark get hit with a crazy spear. Spear was so fast, they ran straight through this car, sending it flying. And all you can see is Mark getting his face palmed. Then they came crashing out this building into another. And the only thing I'm thinking right now is who is finna pay for all this damage. Then you can see this man's face getting dragged against the floor. Then Conquest had picked up his face and then tossed him right into this car. He came and be mad about his car getting destroyed. Why the hell were you even parked there? And to make matters worse, Conquest had pulled up and had punched the car, making it explode. And see, that right there would be a reasonable crash out, cause your car just got destroyed for no reason. He missed. After Conquest had missed that punch, Mark had pulled up and had smacked him right in the face. Headbutt was so nasty, he had made that man take a seat. Conquest so strong, I didn't even think that was possible. Mark seen that it was good eats in the air, so he pulled up and started swinging on this man Conquest, with every punch doing more damage than the last one. But now that I'm really looking at it, he not really putting in that much work. Just look at him. He just spammed about 20 different punches. Like, he was just going hit for hit with this man, and he was not phased at all. But no surprise here. I knew Mark ain't got it in him. Mark ain't got nothing in him but some sugar. The block runner ended up catching Mark punch with ease, and he slowly stood up and started staring this man right in the face. Now we just gonna sit up here and pretend and act like Mark don't have a whole nother hand. Mark pulled up and tried to punch this man Conquest, but he caught his arm and then had flipped this man Mark around in the air. And then the block runner had grabbed this man Mark and started slamming him through the window buildings just cuz, and then flew away. And what was even the point of even doing all that? Just to cause more property damage? This man literally flew into a building just to fly out, but then he decided to hit this man Mark with that nastiest body slam I didn't seen yet. And this man is clearly in pain. I haven't seen Mark this down bad since he tried to box his dad. My apologies. It's crazy that I say he tried to box his dad. That fade was not optional. So after that, the block runner had picked up this man Mark's body and then slung him around just to push this man full force the other direction. And then after that, he had pulled up on Mark right in front of that man. And before you say stop skipping the talking scenes, they don't even know each other, bro. What could they possibly be talking about? After their brief conversation, he hit him with 2 legs and started riding this man like a skateboard. He picked Mark's face up and went in for the finish, but Oliver came in and kicked this man in the face. And I like the fact that Oliver is fearless and he don't give up. But if he keep doing this, he might actually die. The block runner seen that Oliver was goodies, so he pulled up and knocked Mark straight up out the way. The cam had switched back and this man Oliver got lined up for a punch, sending this man flying too. And if this man Oliver died, he only gonna get himself killed, cause he clearly see outmatched and he's still out there trying to hoop. After Oliver had hit the ground, he seen that he was severely hurt. This man was coughing up blood and teeth at the same time. I hope he see this and understand that he's not like that. And sadly, I spoke too soon. He getting scratched out, literally. Mark had seen this tragedy and immediately had pulled up and speared this man. The block runner had stopped the momentum of the flight. I didn't even know you can do something like that. And then he had wound up the craziest punch on this man Mark, shaking everything around him. And soon after that, all you can see is this man Mark getting his face drew out the ocean. But that wasn't even the worst part, because after that, shit had got tragic. The Conquest had took this man Mark and ran him through everybody's body on the beach, killing him in the process. Like, imagine going out that sad because the hero of your planet cannot handle his ones. Bobby Furious in my grave. Mark ended up breaking up out this man's grips, turned around and had smacked him right in his face with a crazy punch. And then he got hit with an unexpected combo because Eve had pulled up and hit him as well. And what is she even doing here? She literally have no business being here. The block runner had looked up and seen Eve was goodies, so he immediately pulled up on her, breaking her shield. But at the same time, he had got tackled by Mark. The way Mark is fighting Conquest and running about Eve. Watch your back. While Mark was distracted, Conquest hit him in his thigh, telling him to get up off of him. And not even a second after Mark fell to the ground in pain, Conquest immediately called her ISO on Eve. So Eve got straight to work trying to lock this man inside a little prison. But the block runner simply wasn't going. He broke out of it with ease. After Eve seen that man break out of the prison so easy, she knew she had to lock in. So she started hitting us with stuff that we never seen before, nor did we ever ask for it. So she ended up forming into Tony Stark. And as you can see by Conquest's face, he is not impressed at all. It kinda actually looked like he was disgusted. Conquest tried to pull up and hit Eve with one punch, but he couldn't. Eve seen that the Conquest couldn't move, so she knew he was free east. So she smacked him right in his face, caught him lacking once more and smacked him again. And I knew there was no possible way she can win, but she was making it look good. She tried hitting Conquest again, but he had caught the hammer, and then he punched it and broke it with ease. And then he started to actually lock in, and Eve seen that, so she started putting up shields to protect herself. But I don't know who she thought that was stopping, because the block runner had punched through every single last one of them. When he got to the end, Eve had pulled out a move and tried to stop his breathing. And then she had smacked him with 2 spiky balls. Whoa there, brother. You want me to say pause on spiky balls? Come on, we better than that. Grow up, man. So then after that, Eve just started spamming moves. She was trying everything in the book to stop this man Conquest. She even started doing trick plays. She turned a spiky ball right into water. But sadly, in her case, it simply wasn't enough, because she tried to backdoor him with an arrow, but he had broke it with his metal hand. And then he had immediately pulled up and broke part of her armor off. And she was basically a fish in a shark tank from there. He started breaking part of her armor off piece by piece, as he flew back in and broke another leg piece off, and then grabbed her by her chest and then cracked her head open. And she was hooping well, but I'm sorry, those GGs. He soon broke off the rest of her arm shields, stood up there for a second to oral form, and then he immediately pulled up on her and uppercutted her, breaking off her jaw. And then he started moving devious, cause the combo wasn't even done from there. This man charged up his hand and ran it straight through her body, hitting her with that Vulture Mite special. And that's exactly what she get, trying to save a Vulture Mite from a Vulture Mite. Just let them hash it out. She started started falling to the ground, but that man Mark ended up catching her, even though his leg was messed up. And that man Mark was over there devastated. He lost his first fun shit, and it wasn't due to him selling or fumbling. It was due to her actually dying. So you already know he couldn't let that slide. He pulled up on the block runner and had crushed his metal arm with his hand, but breaking his own hand in the process. And oh heck nah, this man a simp. His brother dang near died. He ain't have this energy, but when his girl died, he won't have all this energy. This man Mark is a simp. After that, the impact from the blow had sent the block runner back flying. While the Conquest is distracted, Mark pulled up and hit him with a crazy left hook right to the face. But we already know that man Mark is a right hand spammer, so that left hook ain't do no damage at all. After that, he kicked Conquest to the face. He went around his body, tried to go in, but the footwork wasn't there, so Conquest had caught him up. No way this man Mark thought he was gonna become a better fighter. After losing his main hand, it got so bad, he started using dirty tactics. He ended up biting a piece out of this man's arm. And then them boys just started hitting extra hard. They both have one hand, by the way. Them punching like this is like us watching Shanks versus Sasuke. If you know ball, you know ball. So as they was punching, it seems that Eve wasn't dead at all. Actually, she got stronger. And if you wonder why I say it like that, because I hate the plot armor. So Conquest had slammed Mark to the ground and started choking him out again. While Mark was dying, Conquest had looked over and got blasted by Eve. And it wasn't even some regular blast. This blast was actually vicious. And I already know Mark on the ground feeling happy as hell. After getting saved again, she literally blasted meat off that man. But sadly, it wasn't enough. That man had some fight left in him. So Mark pulled up and tried to knock this man out by punching him in the face. But sadly, it wasn't enough, because that man Conquest still had that dog left in him. Hold on. Never mind, I was wrong once more. The dog in him for sure was a chihuahua, because he wasn't showing up or nothing. He was just getting crushed right to death. And as you can see by this man's face, he is not getting up from that. Well, that's gonna be that. As you can see, he's obviously dead. He's not getting up from that, so there's no more to see. But look, thank y'all boys for watching this video. Make sure y'all hit that sub button, and look, I'm about this thing. See ya.